What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in to another edition of the On the Ball podcast. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I hope you're ready, because I'm ready for it. It's going to be another, obviously, episode where we're talking about a lot about the NFL, as we are, as it says right there. We're only 9 days away from football being back. So we're going to have some fun looking at some over-unders, go through those, let you know how we feel about your team. Obviously, you can chime in as well with the over-unders, as well as we're going to look at week one. What's going on, Jory? We'll look at the week one. If you remember last NFL season, we love doing game predictions. So we're going to do that again this season here on the Ball. We'll, make our picks. I'll come up with a graphic, put it up on wire to wire and all that after the fact. And then we're going to end the show with some fun. So I'm not going to spoil it yet, but it does tie in with the NFL theme. And when we get there, I promise you'll enjoy it. So before we get into all that, exactly, Jory, it's been a long time. Super Bowl seems like it was 3 years ago. We're here, we're ready to go. But, gotta bring in Guardy 3. He's not guarding the 2, he's guarding the 3. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited for what we have planned today, and I cannot wait to tell you why your football team is going to underachieve. I am kidding. I'm not here to crush your hopes and dreams.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, let's just get into it. Why not? Let's see. Have it here. There we go. All right. So, right, like I said, we'll start off with over-unders. I mean, you got the little graphic there giving you everything you need. Let's take a look at them. So I went through. I wish it didn't come out like this grid style, but I chopped it up to hopefully make it large enough for you all to see. So we're going to go ahead, run through these. We'll each give our thoughts on it, because some of these numbers I think are a little interesting. And I don't know, we may differ on some of these teams. It is alphabetical, so we're just going to start A, work our way down. First team up, the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, this was done, I think, Vegas Insider, I believe. These are their numbers. So the Arizona Cardinals over-under sitting at 8.5 wins.
So this is really tough, right? Because the Arizona Cardinals didn't get worse. You can argue they got maybe slightly better because they added more talent.
Mm-hmm.
And they were an 8-win team like last year. Like they could probably stumble back to 8 wins. And that's what makes this line so tough. I feel like they're either an 8-win team or a 9-win team. And the margin for error is going to be so razor thin with them. But I'm going to go under. I think they win another 8 games this year.
Okay. Yeah, when I kind of wanted to go over, but I kind of agree with you. I think they will be under once again. It's all going to depend, obviously, on Kyler Murray. If you look at last season, first half good, second half not so good. So if he can put together a good second half, I think 8.5 is a number that they get to 9 wins possible. I don't have confidence in it. I'm going under. I know the joke. You got Black Ops 7 coming out. You got Battlefield 6. Kyler Murray might be preoccupied. I don't know. But I'm going to take the under as well. We should be writing these down.
If they want to beat the over, I'm just going to have to see more from their defense. This was like a bottom 10 defense last year. They were not good. So if this team wants to, beat that, 8-win total from last year, I think they just got to be slightly better, defensively. I think they were fine enough offensively to eclipse it, but they're just going to have to see some growth on the defensive end.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also the Marvin Harrison part of it, because last year he had a very much like up and down season. Can he take another step and he and Kyler get on the same page a little bit better? That could influence their win total as well. But like I said, I'm going to stick with the under for now. So we both have the Cardinals as under. All right, next up, Atlanta Falcons over under at 7.5. I think it's an interesting number there.
I think I'm going to go over. The only way that I don't think they get over is if it's twofold way they don't get over. One, it all starts with Michael Penix. He's going to have to deliver it as the starting quarterback.
Yep.
I think he will do just enough. I think he might have accuracy issues all year, but I think between Bijan and all the weapons they have on offense, that the offense will do just enough. They're loaded, but the real question will come down to can Penix just get the ball out and get the ball in the hands of playmakers. But I think it's going to also come down to can they get to the passer. This team was just awful. And listen, I watched the Packers all year, and we got our sack totals boosted by playing a crappy Titans O-line. Sorry, Jory. But the only team I think that I watched that looked even markedly worse than ours is the Falcons. They could not get any pressure on the quarterback. It was bad. So overall, I'm just hoping that they can get more pressure on the quarterback. Otherwise, they actually just might not hit this 7.5 win over.
I mean, they used 2 first-round picks on pass rushers. They got Leonard Floyd in the offseason, so they've seemingly paid some attention to that. Hopefully those guys work out. So you had them as under?
No, I'll take the over.
I'll take the over. Okay. I was about to say, I'll take the over. I think they're probably an 8-win team. I think they'll keep it interesting in the division, but ultimately, I think they're a below 500 team. So I'm going to take the under as well. All right, so we're both under. All right, so now we have the Baltimore Ravens. High win total, 11.5. I mean, look, the Ravens usually have pretty good regular seasons. Does that continue this year with a 12-win year, or do they fall slightly short of that mark?
I think they are fine. I think they'll get to at least 12. I'm just not going to overthink it. Baltimore is going to win a lot of games just by controlling the ground game between Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, and as long as the defense doesn't completely fall apart, they're just going to win a lot of football games that way. I think this is a 12, 13 win team, so I'll take the over.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the regular season they win a lot of games. It's hard to see them not winning 12. So I think just for that alone, you got to go with the over. All else fails, maybe they learned from last season, feature Henry a little bit more, and yeah. So I'll take the over also. How about the Bills? Bills, same thing, 11.5. Team that a lot of people like. Once again this season. Got James Cook signed up. The division could be a little tougher for them, so they, might be harder to get there. But do they have a 12-win season in them this year?
They get to play the Dolphins twice. I've said this before. They get to play the Patriots twice, so I think they'll be tough. But those should be 2 very winnable games for them. I just think they'll be too young. I don't think they'll be ready yet. I think the Bills could absolutely fall backwards into winning, 12 games. As crazy as it sounds, because I could very well see them sweeping their division. That would be a huge start. That's 6 wins right there. And I think so at the end of the day, I'll take the over on the Bills too. I think they'll benefit from at least. I think they'll go at least 5-1 in their division, and that's going to help them a ton.
Yeah, I mean, the division is getting better. I don't know if they sweep it, but they'll definitely probably be favored in all 6 divisional games. And then you're looking at outside where, what are you facing? The West? NFC West, I think. And I don't know. I can't remember. But either way, the Bills are a really good team. And yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. I think the gap is closing in a little bit in the East, but I think they should get to 12 wins. So I'll take the over as well. Eventually, we're going to disagree. The
At some
Panthers.
point.
Yeah, the Panthers at 6.5 wins. Young team, might be a little feisty. Can they get over 6.5?
What's so tough about the Panthers is I think offensively they can do it, but defensively, that defense was so rough last year. Now, obviously, that comes with the caveat of Derek Brown suffered an injury early. Mm-hmm. So that pretty much nuked their run defense, which was awful last year. I think, I can't. What's tough is I can't just say everybody's going to be over, right? But you know what? I think the Panthers, I'll go over. I'll go with like a 7-win team. I'm not sure how. I think they'll need to just take a big step up with their defense, but I think they will, especially with the return of Derek Brown. And the biggest thing was Bryce Young's leap last year. It's a 7-8-win team. If it's not, well, then it's probably a 5-win team, and the Panthers might be looking for a new quarterback next offseason.
Okay, I kind of thought this might have been the one where we disagreed. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to buy into Bryce Young's second half last season. I'm going to buy into the addition of Ted McMillan. I'm going to buy into the defense looking a little bit better. So, yeah, maybe they are a 7-10 type of team, which if you're a Panthers fan, I think you take that because that'll give you more confidence in Bryce Young going forward. It'll make you seem like, Canales is doing something correct there. So I'm going to go with the Panthers over as well. All right, the Chicago Bears, another team that, young pieces, I feel like got a little hype, might have calmed down a little bit in the preseason, but now everything counts. Everything's for real. Is this team improved enough that they're going to finish over 500 and beat that 8.5 over-under line?
Let's see, that would be a 4-win jump from last year. I guess the real question is internal development plus Ben Johnson worth like an extra 4 wins? I think they'll be close.
Okay.
I think this could very well be a 9-win team. You know what? Yeah, I'll go over on the Bears. Why not?
Okay. I'm going. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll say I promise you, I'll go under at some point. It's coming up soon, but
I mean that's always the tough thing with these numbers. Like some of them just look way too low to begin with, but I think with the Bears, I'm gonna go under. I don't think they're like wildly under the 8.5. Like I could see them being an 8-win team, which, like you said, would still be an improvement off of last season. But I don't know if they're gonna be that. That team that a lot of people are looking at as a possible, worst to first or possible playoff team. I don't know if this is the year for them. I still think Caleb Williams will be learning a new system under Ben Johnson. He's going to need some time for that. So next year, maybe. This year, I'm going to go with the under and say that they're probably a 7-8 win team. They're going in the right direction for sure. They addressed the O-line and all that, but not this year. Okay. Cincinnati Bengals, 9.5 wins. That's obviously going to be skewed for the offense. Although Trey Hendrickson is there for this year at $30 million. They got Shamar Stewart. They're going to hope the pass rush can help because that might be their saving grace on defense. But
yeah, I'm going under.
10 wins really in the Bengals' future.
I'm going under. That just feels way too high for the Bengals. Their offense is going to be terrific again. Like, they got some great skill position players, but watching the Bengals O-line get Joe Burrow killed in preseason does not really, make me ecstatic that they're going to hold up in the regular season. And watching Tanner McKee lead, 4-play, 72-yard drives on their defense. Once again, that just does not move me. So I think Hendrickson helps, but they were still historically bad with him.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, he's just not going to come in and be a fix-all for them. So I think I think it's going to be under that. I don't think this is a 10-win team. This is like an 8-win team.
I have the same thing. I have under. Yeah, I feel like they'll maybe at best be 9 wins in the wild card hunt at the end of the season. May fall to tiebreakers whether or not they get in or not. Offensively, like you said, and everybody would agree with, you really like that side of the ball. Defensively, a lot of questions. I think they brought in a new defensive coordinator, so maybe they can scheme it up enough to get to 10 wins. But I feel like it's kind of a show me situation with the Bengals. Like I love Joe Burrow, Chase, Higgins, all that, but defensively I have a lot of questions, and they're going to be in some high scoring games. Like they may be one of those red zone teams that you just hone in on and sit back and watch the fireworks. But I think it's going to be some frustrating losses in there. So I'll take the under as well. The Browns at 4.5.
Oof. Oh, under.
Okay.
This team's just going to be bad. This is going to be this isn't even going to be the team where, so you can hope that like maybe Myles Garrett and company can carry them to like a couple wins, but like at least the past couple years before the injury, we can at least say they can control the clock with Nick Chubb, and obviously they don't have a Nick Chubb caliber running back anymore. So now it's just you're trying to figure out where this offense is going to come from. So I think that this is going to be like a straight up 3-win team, and they're playing Dylan Gabriel by like week 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Because with cut down day, they sorted out their quarterback situation. You got Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shador. Those are your 3 quarterbacks. They sent Kenny Pickett out to Vegas, but interesting. Dylan Gabriel would be, I guess, the first guy to get a shot if Flacco gets hurt or doesn't play well.
Makes sense. Shador did not look good in that third preseason game.
Right. As a third on the depth chart, no pressure on him to necessarily, be ready to go if Flacco struggles. Like he can now continue development and, wait his time. Which I think works for him. I mean, 4.5, like 4 wins. They could be a team that gets the 5 and probably angers a lot of bettors out there. I'll take the under as well. I'll take the under. I think it's tough. It's tough to see them winning 5, 6 games with all the turmoil that they've kind of gone through and up in the air and all that. So Cottrell's watching. We're taking the under. May not like that, but that's just where we're at right now.
Yeah, the Browns are going to suck. Sorry.
Right. All right. Look, another team that's had some drama. The Cowboys over under 7.5 wins.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with they win 7 games again. I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
This is the team that it's kind of like the Bengals situation. This offense could be great, but I'm not convinced that this Cowboys say, "Oh, hey, what's up, Ian?" I'm not convinced that the Cowboys can stop if a team's called inside zone like 20 plays in a row. They'd probably get 5 yards a pop. Like this team struggled with and obviously injured Micah Parsons, but without him, oh my gosh, this is going to be bad. Like this defense could very well just kind of be like very slightly better than the Bengals. Like the thing that's going to save them are like Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs are solid corners, but outside of that, there's just not much here.
Kerm, what's going on? Kerm thinks a little bit over and could see 10 wins. If the Cowboys get to 10 wins, that would mean probably the Commanders didn't have the year that we probably think. I don't know, maybe the Eagles took a little step back. I just don't know the path to 10. Like, even offensively, there's questions. Like, running the game, like the running game, will it be better? Pickens and Lamb, is that going to work as a tandem with Dak? Like, aren't there O-line questions with the Cowboys a little bit as well?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to be pretty. But hey, America's team.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they rally behind Jerry Jones and probably not.
Yeah, all right. I think Jerry Jones is like angered half the locker room.
Probably, yeah.
Say,
by the way he likes it. He's the center of attention.
I feel, and the Giants are at 5.5 because I feel like they don't believe in their offense. I feel like that's the answer.
Yeah, it's strictly offensive side of the ball.
I feel like that Vegas and a lot of those guys really don't pay attention to the New York Giants as well. So I don't think they understand how good that that defensive front's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got Pastor Wilson and Reverend Jameis. Never know. Never know. But Kerm, look, if they win 10 games, we will definitely give you all the credit for seeing that. The Broncos, team with some momentum from last season. They're set at 9.5 wins.
I'm gonna go.
Are they a double-digit win team this year?
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go 9. This is the team that they got to show me they can beat good teams, right? Like this is a team that had one win against teams above 500 last year. So while they still impressively won 10 games, I'm not sure if they'll be able to replicate that. So I'm not sold that they'll replicate 10 wins, but I think this is going to be like a solid 9-win team. They're just going to miss it.
Okay. So Jory said under for Dallas. Micah will be rusty if he plays. That's true. So Jory, I know you see the comment. Kerm says 10 wins. Like I said, we're keeping that logged in the memory. For the Broncos, I mean, yeah, Bo Nix, tape is out on him. Can he perform at the same level a second season? That's obviously going to be the biggest question when you're dealing with a second-year quarterback. Defensively, love everything the Broncos have. Even offensively, I like what they do. Peyton is a good offensive mind, but it's going to be tougher for Bo Nix to replicate what he did last year. Like I said, I think the 9.5 is very tempting because I do think they're going to be a good team. They're going to be in that conversation for a playoff spot. I'm stuck between whether I go with 9 or maybe they get to 10. I'll go over. I'll pick them as a 10-win team again this year. Maybe the defense steals a couple of games and it helps them out, but I'll take the Broncos over 9.5. All right, Detroit Lions, 10.5 wins. Over under.
Under, but not by much. I think this is still like a 9-10 win team. I think they'll be in the wild card hunt this year. Not just the loss of the coordinators, but I think the loss of Frank Ragnow is going to really hurt this team.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think they'll still be good. They'll still be competitive, but I think they definitely take a step back from their, incredible year they had last year. And I think they probably fall closer to like a 10-win team.
Yeah, I mean, they had a crazy special year last year. Yeah, then I mean, there'll be some drop off, but Dan Campbell's still there. You still have Gibbs, you still have James Williams, you still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you still have Hutchinson, you have the pieces still there. It's just that the coaches have all basically changed, so a little bit of adjustment there. But yeah, I think the Lions will still be a good team. I mean, Vegas knows how to set these numbers to really get you thinking. I'll go under. I think they're probably like a 10-win team. All right. Your Packers,
Over.
9.5 wins.
I think they're over. And I don't even think that's a homer pick. We got a young squad that their defense was much improved from, the prior year.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about year 2 under Jeff Hafley, so the defense should actually just be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, LaFleur is still one of the best offensive minds in the game, and Matthew Golden looks like a special talent. I think the Packers just have a lot of weapons that people kind of maybe will underestimate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have a top 10 tight end in the league in Tucker Kraft, who could actually, I think, climb even higher. And then, like I said, just a lot of great, complementary pieces. Romeo Dobbs has shown a lot. Dontavian Wicks is statistically one of the best guys at getting open against man coverage. Like, overall, this team has a lot of talent. And I think there's too much talent to just not hit at least 10 wins. Even an injured Jordan Love and a team with drop issues hit 11 wins last year.
I'm right there with you. I have them over. I like what the Packers have going on right now. In terms of Dan Campbell, find a way to get to 11 or 12 wins. Can't count out that man. That's fair. Yeah, it's like you said. Packers are a really talented team, and they kind of got lost in the shuffle last year where they won 11 games because the Lions and the Vikings won 15 and 14. That's not going to happen. So I think we'll be reminded, how good the Packers are. And I know a lot of people talk about their wide receivers and not having necessarily a wide receiver one. I think collectively they are a really good group. Like, I think you can put them up there with other wide receiver groups in this league, and they can, hold their own for sure. So, yeah, I got the Packers over, and it's not a homer pick because I'm not a Packers fan, but I agree with you. Jory says under for the next 3, which obviously she has some interest in, as they are the AFC South rivals to her Titans. So we'll start with the Texans. Texans are at 9.5.
I'll go 9 wins with the Texans. They did not address that offensive line enough.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's still a major hole, let's say, at wide receiver with the the Dell injury. So I think that this is just going to be an 8-9 win team. I'm taking the under on them pretty easily.
Look, the Texans are a tough team to evaluate. First year seemed like a lot of promise. Last year took a bit of a step back. They did play better at the end of the season, which was kind of annoying that they couldn't play like that all year. But you got to see the season without Tank Dell. I know Nico Collins had a good year last year. I like them defensively up front with Anderson and Hunter. Like, they'll get after quarterbacks. Mixon's going to miss the first 4 games. That is a big deal. Although they do have Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb hasn't played football in a while. How does he look? They still have Stingley on the back end. Still a good team.
Yeah, they're going to be good. I just think that offensive line is going to hold them back. You can have all the weapons you want, but if your quarterback doesn't have time to actually look for his options, then we're not really gaining much here.
Mm-hmm. I will go. I'll hit the under as well. I think they're probably like a 9-win team, and I guess we'll see whether or not that will be good enough to win the division. As we have the next couple of teams here. All right, Colts 7.5.
Under.
Yeah.
The worst part about the Colts is I feel like they actually have a pretty decent team all around. Like, I think the defense is solid last year. I like pieces that they have on defense. They have a solid wide receiver group. I think Jonathan Taylor still has a little something left in the tank, even though he's been dealing with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But man, oh my gosh. You can have a top 10 defense. You can have a solid wide receiver and running back group, but when you're banking on, Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson to lead your team to the promised land, that just kills all enthusiasm for me. So I'm going to go under.
I'm under as well. Do you think because Daniel Jones is the starter, I know they said for the whole season, do we see Anthony Richardson at some point actually back under center this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think they just
I
wanted.
think so as well.
I think they just wanted to say that to avoid any quarterback controversies for now. But I think he'll be
Yeah.
under center at some point.
Right. Try to avoid that being the first question, like after every game. Is Daniel Jones still the starter? Can we see Anthony Richardson? Although they're going to ask that if Daniel Jones struggles anyway. So, but yeah, under for them. Jacksonville Jaguars also at 7.5 wins.
I misread that at first, and I thought that's at 1.5. I'm like, man, these guys hate Jacksonville. Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm going to agree with Jory. I think this is an under also. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this defense. I don't know if you're going to try to sell me on the Jaguars defense, but I don't believe in their defense, and their offense also has drop issues. And the thing with the Packers is if one receiver has drop issues, they already have another solid backup option that might be feeling it that day. It just doesn't feel like the Jaguars are deep enough to survive drop issues, and this just feels like this has 5 or 6 win team written all over it.
And probably we'll be having similar questions about Trevor Lawrence again next season. Also, can they get a bounce back year from Travis Etienne? I was such a big fan of his coming out of college, and he's just tumbling backwards at this point. Brian Thomas Jr., like him. Now that might be it with me. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Got to go under for them. All right, the Chiefs, 11.5 wins. How you feeling about that?
I'll take the over.
Okay.
Literally just because at this point it's just kind of stupid to bet the under against Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have enough on offense to make it through the regular season. They obviously added speed with Worthy. They're going to lose Rashee Rice for 4 games, which is huge. But this is a team that was looked very slow and old last year, and they still found a way to win using situational football. They're going to have Spags back. They're going to have a great defense back. So, yeah, I'm just going to take the over, and I'm not going to overthink, this one because betting against Patrick Mahomes sounds like a terrible idea.
Okay. I'm actually going to go under here. I just think they'll probably win 11 games. They're a team at this point that they don't need to go crazy in the regular season. You win enough, you get in, and then you kind of just trust the guys who have been there, done that. So many teams in the AFC have yet to really stare down Mahomes in the Chiefs and beat them. I think it's kind of the same thing until somebody does it. So I think they'll pace themselves during the regular season. So I have them as an 11-win team.
Fair enough.
All right. The Raiders, over under 7.5.
I'm going to go a very slightly under. I'm not sold on this Raiders team. So I think their offense could be decent. I think the battery of when you're running Genty plus Bowers, that's a good duo. That's a great start to your offense. I think you can make the offense work. And I think they'll be improved. I think this is a 6 or 7 win team, but oh my gosh, I do not trust their defense at all. Last year, we're talking about PFF ranked them as the 2nd worst defense in football, and I'm not sure that there's going to be a significant enough improvement on that end to really bring it up that much. I think they'll be better than last year, but when the bar's already on the floor, improvement is anything at that point. So, yeah, I think that this is a 6 or 7 win team, which will be an improvement from last year. But I don't think they're going to come that close to getting, to 8 wins.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree. Under. They have intriguing pieces. Genty's a guy that people will be looking at. Possible offensive rookie of the year type. Bowers really burst on the scene last year. They brought in Amari Cooper, but it seems like they're on the verge of losing Jacoby Myers. I mean, I don't know how much you feel about that swap at the wide receiver position, but I guess depending on how much you like Geno Smith, with kind of determine how well you like the offense, and then defensively, yeah. So
So,
yeah, I think under's the play here.
I think it might be. I don't think Jacoby Myers is going anywhere because there's just no talent out there to replace him. Like Amari Cooper, like went for 250 yards, and then he got traded, and he went for another 300. Like Jacoby Myers was an 1,000-yard receiver last year. Like Amari Cooper at one point was very talented, and I still think there might be a little left in the tank. But to me, to make an NBA comparison, he's like Hawks Tracy McGrady at this point, where he might show flashes, but Unk is cooked. So I like the addition of Amari Cooper as a depth piece because I think that's where he's going to bring the most value. And he might flash the occasional, really random Amari Cooper Sunday at 1 p.m. 150-yard game. But I'm not, I'm not moving out Jacoby Myers because I brought in Amari Cooper. Let me just say that.
That's fair. I mean, we'll have to see. I'm sure some teams have called the Raiders, and it's whether or not they actually want to move them or what they can do to make Myers happy. I guess is the real question. But yeah, under for me. All right, sticking in that division, you have the Los Angeles Chargers at 9.5 wins.
Ooh, okay. Well, let's see. I got the Raiders. Oh, you know what? Here's Bronco. You know what? I'll take the Chargers at over.
Okay.
I think this team. Well, I think it's Harbaugh team. He's gonna, run a lot of ground and pound, and it's gonna lead to a lot of, just high percentage plays for Justin Herbert, who is an immensely talented quarterback. And as long as the defense doesn't get absolutely shredded, then I think that they'll be fine. So I'm all for the over on the Chargers. Which
the Chargers are a team I definitely want to like. They got Keenan Allen, a guy I like to watch. Amari and Hampton. It'll be fun to see him in Harbaugh's offense. Defensively, they should be good once again. I'm trying to see. I had the Chiefs under.
Well, last year, this Chargers team had, I think it was a top 10 defense. I think they were pretty close to a top 5. So, as long as they don't take a massive, step back, which I do not foresee happening, I think this is actually pretty easy over.
I got over. Yeah. I think the division is going to be fun. With the Chiefs, the Chargers. I mean, Raiders are still obviously probably the worst team there, but yeah. The Rams moving out to the NFC there. 9.5 wins for the Rams as well. How you feeling?
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take the over on that. I think the Rams are just going to be a very good football team. They always find a way to get great, production out of their offense, their defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll have another year of really good defensive play, and this all just comes down to the health of Matthew Stafford, right? As long as he stays healthy enough to get the ball out to his playmakers, which obviously he has Puka and Devontae Adams, then this offense will be great. I have no doubt about it. So I think this one's actually pretty easy over for me also.
I mean, the Stafford back still worries me, but he seems like he's fine. Yeah, I think they should be a 10-win team, so I'll take the over as well. A lot of talent. Devontae Adams is a good addition for them.
As long as he doesn't have a Peyton Manning type regression, then
yeah. I mean that was my worry when he first had the operation and everything. I was like, Peyton Manning was in the back of my mind. I hope that's not where it goes, but he seems to be fine. All right, next up, the Dolphins, 8.5 wins.
It feels like just a very easy under.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't even crack 8 wins last year, and now this team
I don't understand the optimism down on South Beach.
this team seems to just dislike each other more and more by the day. We got Tyreek Hill trying to coach. Like, we got them trying to run, like, goal line offenses to show that they're tough to get stuffed 4 times in a row. Like, this might be, like, the easiest under on this entire list to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't see how they get near that mark. So I don't know. Yeah. After last year, I don't know how they set 8.5 for them, but yeah, I'll definitely take the under there. Vikings also at 8.5.
I think they'll beat it. I think it might be barely. Like, I think that this is like a 9-win team.
Mm-hmm.
I think JJ McCarthy will have a good year for, being a rookie quarterback in his first year. But I also don't think that, he's going to be able to take over games and be like a, generational quarterback. So I feel like that, having a rookie there might handicap him a little bit, but I still think that just with the Brian Flores defense alone and with all the weapons that they have out there on offense, I think this will be a 9-win team.
Under for the fraudulent duo in McDaniel and Tua. Yeah.
Tank for Tua.
A terrible buddy cop show, McDaniel and Tua.
Don't give him any ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we agree with you, Jory. Under for them. The Vikings, yeah, I think it's interesting because I think JJ McCarthy, because of the situation he's dropped in, could play well, especially like once Addison comes back from the suspension, then they could really start taking off Aaron Jones as a running back. Hawkinson. Yeah, I'll say they're probably a 9-win team. And Flores is still running that defense. So there's still going to be a, tough group to kind of figure out. So yeah, I think they worked their way to 9 wins. I'll take the over. All right. My Patriots also at 8.5.
Well, that is very optimistic. That's like the same jump as the Bears, going from a 4-win team to a 9-win team, except they were a 5-win team to a 9-win team. I think the Patriots are like an 8-win team. I think that's their ceiling. I don't think they hit the over this year, but I think if everything goes right, they can win like 8 games. But I think this team's just too. I think this team is a year away from being ready. So I think this will be another learning experience of a year, and you'll get some special stuff next year. But I think this year, I think there's going to be a lot of bumps. So I don't think 9 wins is going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're looking at a team that's had a lot of turnover, not just in the coaching staff, defensively, bringing in a lot of guys to kind of upgrade from some of the guys they had last year. Offensively, there's going to be questions at O-line, maybe some questions at wide receiver, although I think those may be a little bit overblown, but the questions are there. Drake May in his second year, it's fair to wonder how good he's going to be. So I agree with you. I think they are an 8-9 win team. Obviously, the number's at 8.5, so I need to decide whether they come out under or over. I'm going to be different here. I'm going to say they get to 9 wins. It may come down to a final week or two, maybe a team, that has a spot locked up, takes the game off a little bit, and they sneak in that 9th win. But I'll take the Patriots over. But like you said, they're definitely on the right track. Vrabel's the guy that can help them get back to where they used to be. I thought they had a good draft this year, which something you couldn't say for them past couple of years. So I think things are turning in New England. But yeah, well, we'll see. I agree. 8-9 wins is where they're going to land. The Saints at 6.5. I really hate killing the Saints every week we do this.
Some teams are, I like to say they're under because they're a year away from being ready, like the Patriots.
Yeah.
I cannot say the same thing about the Saints. I'm just going to be nice and just say politely that they're going to be under. I think very comfortably under.
I mean, if you think about it, we knock the Saints every week. We look at the Browns. They think the Saints are 2 wins more than the Browns. Which, once again, if Cottrell's in here, he'd probably have a lot to say about that. That's kind of telling. And the Saints are going to run out Spencer Rattler. I guess Tyler Shuck couldn't beat him out for the job. So now they're going with Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler won their QB competition. How is that a 6.5 win
that's
team?
Crazy to think about. I mean, yeah, I'm going under, but I was kind of surprised it was as high as 6.5. Not gonna lie. All right, the Giants 5.5. Who I know Ian, who's in here a little earlier, you're still in here, was wondering why the Giants are at 5.5. And you and I can both agree, if they only had to play defense, they'd probably be a lot better. It's just a lot of questions offensively. Can they score enough?
Yeah, Ian's been one of my best friends since I met him in like 2017, and ever since then he's been a diehard Giants fan. So he's stuck through the thick and thin. So I give him all the credit in the world, but I'm here to give you some good news. I think that number is over. Now, I don't think that this is going to be like, a championship level team or even a playoff team. And I think over as they go like, 6-11.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that they're treading in the right direction. They're slowly building up that defense. I think the offense is going to have trouble moving the ball at times, which will be their pitfall in a lot of these games. But you know what? I think this defense, I think Russ will have at least a couple games of Russ magic left in him. Mm-hmm. I think that this team, the Giants team, will barely sneak over. I'm going to give them 6 wins. 6 wins.
I'm there with you. I think people are kind of making a little much of like the terrible situation the Giants are in. I think they'll be interesting some weeks. Some weeks they'll probably get blown out or whatever, but I like what they're doing. The enthusiasm may be there once Dart gets his opportunity to start, but all else fails between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They're probably gonna have a lot of fun. They'll probably give you great sound bites. Like those two will be very optimistic. And Jameis is gonna be like, somebody needs to lock a camera in on Jameis Winston when he's on the sideline. I don't care, playing or not.
I think with the Giants too, it's really going to come down to this. I think they're treading in the right direction, but I think next year for their offseason, it's just got to be about fixing that offensive line. They have a true generational draft bust on that offensive line that needs to be replaced in Evan Neal.
Yeah,
and I don't use the word draft bust lightly. I'm not like a lot of people. So I think if you're a draft bust, you just failed from the start and never lived up to your hype. So, for example, I don't think Kyle Pitts was a draft bust because in his rookie year, he did have one of the greatest rookie tight end seasons we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then fell off a cliff, but he still did that. So I don't think he's necessarily a bust. Like Trevor Lawrence, I don't think is necessarily a bust, but Evan Neal is one of those guys that I can truly just say sucked from the jump and has progressively just like gotten worse. They moved him to guard hoping that would help. And he's just getting barbecued at guard too against like backup defenses. So I think if they want to, take that next step, obviously next year you add in maybe another skill position player to complement, Malik Neighbors. But I think next year's goal has got to be real simple. Just fix up that O-line.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if they're trending in the right direction, is Dayball going to be around for that? Or should he be around for it?
You know what? I think he should. I wouldn't should. It's funny. This is the same guy that somehow led Daniel Jones to a playoff, game and a playoff win. it's tough with him because, like, obviously you can make the argument that they regress, but also I don't think the Giants just haven't done a good job of putting pieces, on that team per se. So I feel like, you got to look at the GM first because they haven't really fixed the O-line. They've had the same offensive weapons for like years, even though clearly it's not working. Now, obviously, they got Malik Neighbors, but it's one of those things where I can't really tell it. Is this a coaching level failure or is this kind of a GM level failure for just not putting the right pieces in place? And I'm kind of leaning towards, while Brian Dable's not perfect, it feels like the GM is just kind of, sort of, up until recently, which I'll admit, he's making some good moves to get this team back on track, but kind of sort of in the beginning, like, it feels like that they did not really help out Dable at all until the last, couple of years.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Dayball should be kind of in charge of this, I guess, reset of a rebuild, I guess. I don't know. Because, look, you hired him because of his work with Josh Allen. Haven't really given him a quarterback he could really work with. Now, see if he can do something with Jackson Dart. I think as a prospect, we can agree Dart probably has a higher ceiling than Daniel Jones. So now you tell Dayball, prove that you're this quarterback guy and get Dart to the point where he's a starting quarterback and we can start winning some more games.
Hey, I'll give Dayball credit. He won a couple games with Tommy Cutler, who's not a very good quarterback. So
yeah.
He beat my Packers, which, granted, with the Joe Barry defense, I think anybody could have beaten that Packers team.
Right. All right. So I guess staying in New York or New Jersey, whatever. The Jets, 6.5 wins.
Jets, Jets. This Jets team is so tough. I feel like this just comes down to how much do you believe in Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're like the same team as last year. I think this is maybe like a 5-win team to a 6-win team. So I'm going to take the under. I believe that maybe he has some untapped talent, but I don't think he has like that much untapped talent. I think we kind of already seen what, Justin Fields is as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, all the reporting about like their, training camp and all that, it's kind of hard to be optimistic. Like they're making it seem like Fields is struggling to throw the ball. He can't get it out to Garrett Wilson. The accuracy isn't there. Like if that continues in the regular season, it'll be tough for them to win, I guess, 7 games to get over. So I'm going to go with the under as well. Like before that reporting, I was kind of high on where the Jets could be going because I do think Aaron Glenn was a great hire for them. I think Aaron Glenn will get the defense playing better, which, last season was a big mess with, the Saleh stuff. They were playing decent, and then they let Saleh go, and then the defense really tanked. I think they'll have a bit of a renaissance this year, but offensively, yeah, there's going to be some struggles. So I will go with under as well. All right, moving along, we have the Eagles at 11.5 wins. Super Bowl champs. Are they going to be a 12-win team this year?
I think so. I actually think they pretty handily dominate their division. When it comes to, obviously, the Cowboys, once again, Dak does very well against the East, but I think this year the defense just won't have any answers to stop this offense. I think the Giants are, coming along, but I don't think they're like Eagles level good quite yet. Granted, I don't know if they'll ever be, Eagles level good, but at the end of the day, I think that this is a team that could also very well go. I think that it's a very realistic scenario in which they straight up sweep the division.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's probably more realistic to say they go like 5-1. I think they drop a game somewhere in there. But, yeah, I think this is a 12-win team, even though they have a really tough schedule this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to really, believe in what they're doing. They still have a lot of talent. So I'm going to go over as well. They're clearly the class of that division. And yeah, I think they get to 12 wins. All right, another interesting number. Steelers at 8.5.
They're only tough because Mike Tomlin just has voodoo to get this team above, 500 every single time without fail. Because I want to almost say no, that this is not going to be, a 9-win team, but it's so tough. They pulled it off last year.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say that they'll go over. I think they'll it'll eclipse the 9 to 10 win total again. It's just so tough. I don't know what to think about the Steelers, honestly.
I think the optics scream under. But I feel like it's kind of been like that for the last 3 years. If the Steelers go on some crazy run late to get to 9. I think they do that again this year, even though I'm not, sold on Rodgers. I'm not sold on necessarily, DK Metcalf or whatever. I'm probably not sold really offensively. I just think they find some way to scrap and claw and get there, which probably leads to another off season of Steeler fans wondering if Tomlin probably deserves to be fired. But I just think because of the kind of coach he is, I think they find a way. So I'll go over for them. All right, coming down to the end here. The 49ers at 10.5. That has to be driven by their, weak schedule, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. I just don't. They lost a lot of pieces this offseason. Mm-hmm. Unless they're playing the, Saints, Raiders, and Browns every week, I don't see them getting to 11 wins.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a hard ask to see them get there. So I'm going under as well. All right, 4 teams left. Got the Seahawks, 7.5 wins.
So Seahawks at I think they'll get to 8.
Okay.
I think that's just as much as I think that Sam Darnold's going to regress in this team, probably isn't going to be that good. You know what? They still have a good defense. I like their defense. I think they could still have a very fun, run game like Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. I think there's enough pieces here to keep them at least to that 8-win total. It might be a barely, but I think that this is going to be an 8 to 9-win team.
I agree. I have the Seahawks over as well. I think they're going to probably have a better season than most think. I think the running backs bounce back. I think Darnold has a good season. Darnold's season last year for about 3/4 of it, really good. Last quarter or so, he struggled. So I think if that's the case even again this year, I think they get over 7.5. All right, the Bucks, 9.5 wins.
9.5 wins for the Bucks. Yeah, you know what? I think they'll barely get. I think it'll be a 10-win team again. They won 10 last year. I don't think they really got that much worse. Granted, they're going to be without Godwin, but obviously they replaced him with a rookie receiver for now. Yeah, I think that this will be a 10-win team. I think they'll barely get it.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I think it's like the NFC South. The winner probably gets the 10 wins no matter what. So I think they're the best team. Still big Baker Mayfield believer. Still have Mike Evans. Got Bucky Irving, who had a good year last year. Yeah, I'll take the over. All right. The Titans at 5.5.
Titans at 5.5?
Mm-hmm.
Give me. Ooh, you know what? I'll take the over. I think Cam Ward will make a big enough difference that they'll get to 6. I think they'll be barely over. The Titans are going to be another one of these teams where they're young and they're going to be like a 5 or 6 win team, not necessarily because they're bad, but I think more so that they'll be bad because they're young, not bad because they're like bad like the Browns.
No, I agree. I got the over. I think the difference will be telling between Levis and Ward. I think that alone should get them over 5.5. So I think that's a comfortable over for me.
I think they were like they almost won 6 games with Will Levis, not just melting down.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, I think Ward is a better quarterback this year than Levis last year. What's going on, Mo? Final team, the Commanders at 9.5.
Give me the over. They re-signed Terry McLaurin, which is huge. And now I can feel comfortable about this team again. So I will take the Washington Commanders comfortably over. I think that this team without McLaurin probably still wins 10 games. But, now with them, I think they are back into that like 11 to 12 win conversation.
Okay. I agree. I mean, I love what the Commanders are doing. Jaden Daniels, big fan. I know a lot of people have been paying attention to the Brian Robinson deal because they have a rookie that they seemingly really like. But yeah, Terry McLaurin, the minute he signed, I was like, yeah, they should have another good year. So I got the Commanders over as well. So I mean, we're pretty much in agreement on a lot of these teams. We differ on Patriots. That can't be the other one. Patriots and the Broncos, the Bears. Yeah, that's fair. All right. So, like I said, after the fact, give me like a day or so. I'll put up our picks for over under. I'll come with some graphic to put it up on the wire to wire page. But like I said, we're also going to take a look at week 1. The pick segment is back. Poker chip graphic on the field. You already know what it's about. So yeah, same rules as last year. We picked the 3 primetime games, which I don't know if this one made it obvious which ones are which. I know Cowboys Eagles is Thursday, so that's that Sunday night and Monday night. Okay, so we're good there. That Brazil game, is that Friday again?
That's Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll count that as the other games. So we're going to do the primetime games and then our lock of the week, basically taking a favorite that we really like, and then our underdog of the week. So 5 picks a week, unless there's a double Monday night week once again. So looking at these, some interesting lines for week 1. Start Sunday night, obviously. Cowboys Eagles. They have the Eagles minus 6.5. Which way you leaning on this one?
I'll take the Eagles on the over. I think that they win by a touchdown or more, and I'm leaning towards the or more. I think they're just a much better football team.
Okay. Will Micah Parsons be in a Cowboys uniform for that game?
At this point, probably not. I could see this dragging into the regular season. It might be like the Chris Jones situation where after this defense gets gassed for like 300 yards, then it might be Jerry going, oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We need this guy now.
Kerm says he thinks he will. Okay. I kind of agree. I think he'll be there week 1. I'm not even sure how we get there, but I just think it does. That whole situation, I just have no clue. Like the preseason game, Micah laying on the table was just like, I thought it was hilarious, but it's also like, that's where we're at with this. Like Micah is just disinterested and Jerry's trying to, show his power. And it's just like, Jerry, you have to come off of it. Somebody needs to get in Jerry's ear to get it done. So you're taking the Eagles minus 6.5. I am doing the same. I cannot see a way that the Eagles don't do it. Another thing is, I guess the emotions of opening week, they're going to do all their celebration for the Super Bowl and everything. If they come out flat, maybe. I also don't know that this Cowboys team would take advantage of that anyway. So, yeah, give me the Eagles minus 6.5.
I'm just excited for the old greatest part of like a Cowboys blowout when you get the Jerry Jones reactions.
Oh, yeah. Because that's coming. Micah being on the table was funny. It really was. And the fact that Schottenheimer talked to him, I would love to know how that conversation went. All right, so Sunday Night Football. Bills at Ravens. The Bills minus 1.5 on the road in Baltimore.
Ooh, that's just a tough place to play, man.
That's an interesting line.
On the road in Baltimore, and the Bills are favored. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna take the Ravens. I think they'll win this one. I think they'll take it.
Okay. I definitely was surprised to see it. Like, this just seems like a game that because the Bills beat them in the playoffs, the Ravens will, get some revenge and, we'll be celebrating. Ravens fans love hitting social media. They'll be talking all about it. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if it came down to a Tyler Loop, the guy replacing Justin Tucker, having to hit a field goal for the Ravens to win it? That would be high drama. I kind of agree with you. I think it's tough to see the Bills winning that one on the road. Yeah, I'll take the Ravens, I guess, plus the 1.5 as well. All right, Monday night, Vikings, Bears. This, your division, know these two teams very well. Bears minus 1.5 as well. Interesting line. I will say these lines came from FanDuel Sportsbook.
You know what? I'll take the Bears. I think they'll barely pull it out. It'll be a fun chess match, but I think they'll do it.
I'm gonna take the Vikings. I think they have a good showing. I think Flores will be ready to, send some exotic blitzes at Caleb Williams. We'll see if Caleb has learned to get rid of the ball, not hold on to it. So I'll take the Vikings and I guess plus 1.5 there. Okay, so now who is your favorite or I guess lock of the week?
Oh my goodness! You know what? Week 1,
always tough.
It is. It really is because there's so many options, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm just going to take the homer pick. Happy week 1. I'm taking the Packers beating the Lions.
All right. So you're taking the Packers minus 1.5. Okay. Okay. I like that. I will go with. Pardon me. Yeah, there's some tough ones to try to figure out for week 1. I feel like I'm seeing more underdogs than favorites I like.
Right? That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Kerm says the lock is your Patriots.
Kerm, I like the way you're thinking. I guess the one where like Max Crosby will probably be lined up against Will Campbell, the rookie. That could be interesting. You know what? You went with your team. I'm gonna go with my team. Why not? Tom Brady will be in the building. I think the Pats will show up for week 1. I'll take the Patriots minus 2.5. All right. So now, who is your underdog of the week? So now, I guess to let you guys know, we're not necessarily picking the underdog to win, but we're picking the underdog to cover.
I'll take the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Where is that game? Oh, Cardinals. Oh, Wait, the Saints are really no. There's no way. This has to be wrong here. Hold on, I must have messed up. If the Saints are minus 5.5, we have some real problems.
This is
Yeah, okay. The Saints are plus 5.5. That's my mistake. Now I'm like double checking all these because that's crazy. I mean, people would have been running to Vegas on that number.
Oh, absolutely.
So that one should be Cards minus 5.5. Sorry about that.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I thought I'd shoot my shot. My underdog. Give me. You know what? I'll go Giants. I'll go Giants over the Giants. Cover the spread against the Commanders.
Okay. I gotta double checking all of these to make sure. Giants, Commanders 6.5. Okay, that's right. So you're taking the Giants plus 6.5. No, yeah, Kerm. I don't know. I don't know why I said Brady will be in the building because I guess Brady has like some ownership stake in the Raiders. That's why I said it. But yeah, he'll be calling. Oh, he'll actually be calling Giants Commanders. Okay. So you're gonna take the Giants plus 6.5. Okay. All right. I will go with the I'm gonna take the Seahawks plus 2.5 against the Niners. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm too high on the Seahawks, but I feel like opening week in Seattle, I could see the Seahawks play very well. I think the 12th man was behind them. I think with JSN and those guys, I just see the Seahawks pulling that one out. I think the Seahawks actually win that one outright, but I'll take that one plus 2.5. Jory underdog the Titans. I mean, 7.5. Look, there's always here's where they get you, especially the lines like 7.5. There's always the worry of that backdoor cover that you just always hate, like a last second touchdown, and it's just like, oh, really? So it could happen. It could happen, Jory. Keep the faith. Even if you say might be delusional faith, keep the faith. I'm in the Roger Bowl. If I felt a little bit better about the Jets, I would have gone there. That game's gonna be so.
It's like your worst nightmare of a game. You get a bad Jets team versus Aaron Rodgers ball.
Yeah. The kind of emotions in that game, it's gonna be crazy. All right, so once again, we are back on the picks, so we'll be doing this once again. I'll have a graphic up for our picks. We'll definitely be keeping track. You all can do so as well with us and see which one of us is the better game picker. Remember, first year had a horrible year, bounced back last year. We'll see what happens this year. All right, so now come to the end of the show. We're going to get into some fun here. And Brett, I'm going to let you set it up while I get everything going here.
Okay, so we thought it'd be a lot of fun. So we're doing a fantasy football draft technically I put it under the name of the And One Podcast because I figured trying to do like on the ball / And One Podcast probably a little bit too long. What do you guys watch y'all teams play when they're on Red Zone or Red Zone the entire time? I watch my team play. I'll catch up with everybody else later.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll have Red Zone on my phone, but I'm watching my team play. But yeah, so we're having a little fantasy football league for the And One Podcast, and we got quite a few people, in wire to wire, and just a lot of different people in it, and we thought it'd be fun on this show to do a live fantasy football draft. So it's really simple. We're gonna spin the wheel. And the first name that gets picked is going to be pick 18. We have 18 teams in this league, so ball knowledge is going to have to be elite. It's a high-risk, high-reward league.
Yeah.
So interceptions, for example, are worth 5 points or negative 5 points. So I up the value on that, but 40-yard touchdowns are worth 10. You can win or lose points on field goals, but you also get points off punt return yards. So I made it so it's high scoring, but I also put more pitfalls in it for you to lose points. I try to make it as fun as possible. But we thought it'd be a little bit of fun if we decided the draft order on the show live. So we're gonna have a little fun and decide our fantasy football draft order.
Let's making sure I had all the teams. Yeah, Cam Ward sidekick. Yeah, I got them all. All right, here we go. This is for pick number 18. Spinning the wheel. Oh, up to the wheel here. But yeah, 18 teams. Like later rounds, you're gonna have to be picking out some really hidden gems. All right, Beer Me is pick 18.
Oh boy, he ain't gonna be thrilled about that. That's my cousin.
We got Gene 17. Alex at 16. Okay. That's you.
That's me.
For Alfred Hero.
Woo.
So that's what, 15?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jory at 14.
Jordan Nation
13. Yeah.
Okay. See, we thought this would be the most fun and fair way, so you know we're not cheating on you guys.
Yes.
Kenny at 12. Okay.
Kenny. How we get
Will.
That's Will. Okay. Now this would be great. Like I'm hoping I don't end up with the number one pick because this is gonna look really sketchy. Okay, Brown, Johnson, Hurts. It's a long name. Roger Goodbells. All opinion. Okay. Respect the name. Okay. So I came off the board there. There we go.
we always got to get a little creative. Oh, Delft. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Mo. Okay. He's top 5.
Okay. Dylan. Okay. Pick 4. Third pick. Penny
that's
Pinchers.
the guy from work. Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're gonna find out who has the number 1 pick. Because number 2 is gonna be Optimistic Vikings fan, which means Gridiron Men. You have the number 1 pick. Okay.
Love it.
There you go. Like I said, nice little fun way to end the show. I guess, Brett, you want to let them know the draft will be.
Yeah. So the draft, we're gonna have we'll have fun. I might live stream it on TikTok or maybe on the And One page. I'll let you guys know, but it will be at like 9:15 at night on Thursday. Trying to make it so everybody can have time to join or at least set their board so they can pick however they want. It's going to be a great time. So I promise you, Kyle did not rig it so Featherbrain could get a higher pick. Maybe he did.
I was a little worried when my name wasn't coming. I was like, if I come with the first pick, people are going to be all over me. I was so glad I wasn't. So
it's gonna be the frozen envelope all over again. Kyle's over here rigging the draft.
Exactly. But yeah, look, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, 18 teams. I don't know if I've ever done a fantasy football league with that many teams. Like, I want to get deep into the bag, pick out some hidden gems. I think that's what makes fantasy football fun. So should be a lot of fun. I don't know. We may even, do some updates here on the show once the league gets started. I don't know. We'll we'll have some fun with it. Maybe that's the way we'll end our shows once the season starts. Looking at the standings and everything. Who knows?
No, absolutely.
But yeah. That's all we got for you. Appreciate you tuning in. Like Brett said, draft will be Thursday. So they obviously look out for the End One page or wherever he live streams it from. That should be fun as well. So, look, we'll see how our picks do in a couple of weeks, but make sure you guys hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Greatly appreciate it. Check out the other shows here on the network. Once again, Brett will be back on Thursday. I'll be back on here Friday with Jory. Hopefully she's less incensed. I know she's kidding, but we also will have a lot of fun on Friday as well. So make sure you come back for that. Passion and Precision. And check out the morning show tomorrow. Coffee and Sports in the Morning. Get your day started. And, get you started off the right way before you get going with your day. So appreciate all of you once again. Love the energy in the chat. So for myself and Brett, not guarding the 2, he's guarding the 3. We're the On the Ball podcast, and we're out of here. So enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you later. All right? Bye.